Hello and welcome to another episode of MSU Inside Out, our last episode of the semester. And Mariah, it's our last episode ever.
Woo! Can't wait.
Joined by Mariah Zabak, I am Jesse Rosfit, host for our hour-long show here to cap off our spring semester of 2015. Mariah, it's going to be pretty action-packed.
Yes, we have a ton of things to look forward to. An entire class has gotten together to do their own packages. We also have interviews from a student here in our broadcasting department that it's about to go play professional football in Finland. We have an interview with one of our most cherished professors, and you have an interview with our very own director, Elizabeth Ham, talking about her weekly probably gaming.
Yep. So we'll get a lot about our department, talk about it a lot during our show. But for right now, you were talking about the football player over in Finland. We actually have that right now. We're going to go to Ashley with classes wrapping up next week. The class of 2015 is ready to move on with their lives, and Ashley is standing by with Leon Ladeau to talk about his future.
Thank you. The end of this semester is quickly approaching, and this year's seniors are set to graduate next Friday. I'm here with broadcasting senior Leon Ladeau, who is excited to be moving on into the working world. Now, Leon, I know that you've been involved in the broadcasting department for 2 years. Could you tell me what you've learned from your experiences here at MSU?
Well, here at MSU, by the time I transferred here in my career from high school and from my college experience already, I have a lot of experience in the field. So the opportunities that MSU has given me has been really able to fine-tune my skills by the chance that you get to do live radio shows here. You get the opportunity to work on the TV show like this. And so from that standpoint, I've really been able to advance and just really fine-hone my skills. And then from the students that you're around all the time here, I came from a completely different background over in Washington to come over here with students from North Dakota. So I've always said that you learn a lot more from your peers than you do from your professors ultimately in college, and that's been completely true here. And I've learned a lot from my peers about basically the North Dakota life and then the life that they've basically been through, because it's been completely different from my own.
Interesting perspective. I like that. Now let's talk plans after graduation. I hear you're moving to Finland to coach and play in the professional league there. Could you describe that to me a little bit more?
I am. I'm going to move to Kouvola, Finland, which is in southern Finland. It's about an hour away from Helsinki, which is the capital. I'm going to be the special teams coordinator and the co-defensive coordinator for the team, and then as long as I'm going to continue my playing career at wide receiver. I basically put my profile up on a website called europlayers.com. Where I was scouted by teams from Germany, Austria, Italy, all around. And then ultimately the Finnish league worked the best for me because their season starts in May. They actually started their preseason 4 days ago. But their coaches knew I was graduating in May and were comfortable enough with my film and everything that they said that I could come in late and then join the team late. So they felt very comfortable in that. And so it worked out the best for me, and I'm really excited to go over to basically a country that I have no familiarity with too.
Yeah, it sounds like it would be a great fit for you. Could you tell me what you've learned from your broadcasting degree and how it'll fit in with your new career?
Obviously, the communication skills. Anytime you get an opportunity to do something in the communication field, it's great because as a future coach, it's important for me to be able to communicate with my players in a clear way and then do over that. And then obviously, I'm going to be working with kids from Europe, from all across Europe, and being a good communicator is going to be probably incredibly important because they're going to speak the little English that they do know is going to be very different from the English that I'm used to around. So being able to communicate with them solidly, not only as a player but as a coach, is going to be very important to make sure that we get the schemes and everything down that we need to do.
Definitely. Well, thank you so much for joining me here today, Leon. If you want to congratulate Leon and the rest of the 2015 class, you can head over to the Dome for the commencement ceremony at 10 next Friday. Back to you in the studio.
All right, thank you, Ashley. Leon, just one of the many seniors we have in our broadcasting department, moving on to do great things after next week.
Yes, I can't wait to hear his stories. It's no secret that crime in Minot has been on the rise. The past few months, church robberies have been increasing. Emily Madalin, one of our very own, is standing by with more on how one church specifically is overcoming those challenges.
Thanks, Mariah. Yes, it is kind of a well-known fact that Easter season is one of the happiest times in the church for Christians all over the world. But for one small church in Burlington, North Dakota, it was a bit of a different story. The children of Peace Lutheran Church spent recent weeks collecting $300 for bed nets to help save people with malaria. But on the morning after Easter, one of the parish members found that, along with the church's safe, to be gone.
She showed up that morning and her room had been broken into, and as she looked around a little bit more, she saw that our offices had been broken into as well. It just feels, you just feel violated.
As disheartened as the children and teachers were at the news, Nesdal took action right away.
We put out a call to some of the social networks that I'm a part of and to the church's social networks, and through those very generous people from around the country, we received donations over $2,100.
And that wasn't the only good news to follow. A few days after Easter, an anonymous fisherman found the church's records floating in the river, still intact near Roosevelt Park. Now that, along with marriage certificates and old photographs, are back at the church where they belong.
What the person did was wrong. That's not a good thing, but it's cool to see how God can use difficult circumstances to do great things.
In Burlington, Emily Medallin, KX News. Everyone at Peace Lutheran would like to send a very special thank you to that anonymous fisherman who found their record books. And back to you guys.
Thanks, Emily. Sad news here in Minot. It just sucks that things are changing so rapidly.
Yeah, it's been kind of going on. We see a lot more traffic too, and it just takes a lot longer to get to places too. But one good thing that's been coming up, we've had some nice weather lately here this spring.
Yes, up until the last couple days, I've been loving the sun.
Absolutely. Hopefully that returns. But with the nice weather we've had this spring, the animals are out, and the zoo has opened early this year. Nolan Axton is here in the studio to tell us more.
Thanks, guys. Yeah, lions, tigers, bears, no problem. Zoo season is here again. And now here is an inside look at the action. Everyone has a favorite animal.
We love the giraffes. Have to be the cats, the big cats.
And now they have somewhere to see it. That's right, the Roosevelt Park Zoo is officially open for the 2015 season, and Zoo Director David Merritt says opening weekend was a great success.
It was a great weekend. The weather was just perfect. The weeks prior to that, we had once again a huge turnout of volunteers to help us rake and clean up the corners of the zoo. It's always hectic because we transition from winter to summer pretty quickly, but we're anxious always to get open. So yeah, it was a wonderful weekend.
Even though avian influenza has slowed the return of some of the birds, Merritt said there is still plenty of animals to see and events to take part in.
At the zoo this year, the otter exhibit is new in a sense that it's not been open since pre-flood, since we evacuated in 2011. So, and it is a brand spanking new exhibit. So that's there again. We have some babies around. You saw the baby bison a while ago, and we have a giraffe baby who was actually born late last summer. But we also have the aviary building open, and in the aviary building, while their exhibit is being built right now, we have a pair of red panda who are just cute as buttons, and a lot of really neat birds.
Basically every animal is ready to be viewed here at the Roosevelt Park Zoo. So take a day off from your business, come have fun with the monkey business. For MSU Channel 19, I'm Nolan Axton. For more information and hours of operation, visit rpzoo.com. Now back to you two.
All right, thank you, Nolan. Mariah, you gonna head out to the zoo sometime this summer?
You know, I've never been to the zoo, unfortunately, but I hear that they have some great events going on where they do a 21 and over walk as well. So they'll have an area for your kids to hang out, but also it's basically for adults to go and enjoy the zoo as adult fun. So.
Yeah, they do have quite a few activities going on throughout the summer. I think it'll be really good for them. I know they've had a tough couple of years since we flooded a couple of years ago. But for a couple more stories that's going on around, we're going to actually talk to Emily now, and I know you have a few more packages from the ENG class for us.
Yes, absolutely. Next is Gemma. Next week is finals week at Minot State University, and Gemma Biasetto explores campus to find the ultimate study spot.
I'm Gemma Biasetto, and I am here to talk about my package, and I went and explored through Minot State to find the ultimate study spot. It's not about how we study, but it's about where we study.
With the weather warming up, the library isn't the only place to get some studying done.
This is college. There's certainly something here.
but where to look? Despite MSU's compact layout, campus has plenty of space to hunker down and hit the books. The only problem is picking the right area, so I ventured out to find what the students had to say. I mean, Minot State's slogan is be seen, be heard, so why not?
I'm a junior. I am a biology, chemistry, and mathematics major. My favorite spot in the library is the back right corner of the main floor because you're hidden by these two bookcases, so it's quiet most of the time and it's a good vibe because everyone else is studying, which means you should probably study too. So it kind of motivates you.
I'm a freshman. I'm doing some general studies, so just getting my things done. I like to do history and my English outside. It's lots of fun when the weather's nice.
If I were in my room, I wouldn't be able to get enough. I'll be on my phone constantly, or I'd be on. But the perks of it is like there's no Wi-Fi out here, so it kind of helps me study better and focus. The bad about it is the wind is kicking in a bit. You get a little sunburn, but it's very peaceful. There's nobody out here.
Where do you think your ideal spot is on campus? I found mine under a shady tree and a couple of rocks. Back to Emily for entertainment news.
All right, thanks, Gemma. Earlier today, Josh Sandy was able to catch up with one of our favorite professors to talk to her about her time here at Minot State. And here is Josh with more.
All right, we're having a little technical difficulties with that interview, but Mariah, they were just talking about Audra's leaving our department as we are as well. I know we're going to miss her a little bit. We just had she was good, taught us a lot in public relations in our department.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I know that she was the reason that I chose public relations as one of my concentrations. She's taught me so much about event planning and just about life. I know she's given me a ton of opportunities in the community and not only in the school, but there too. So she will really be missed.
Absolutely. It's going to be interesting to see how the department moves on. I know they absolutely will move on this broadcasting department, always keeping strong. And now we're actually going to move on to campus news. Megan's in the studio here. We're going to talk about a few more packages like we've seen already throughout today. We're going to see a few more right now, right?
Yeah, we're going to go straight into it. With the school year winding down, seniors are getting ready to move on to the next stage of their lives. Leon Ladeau caught up with a few students to see how they're feeling.
On May 15th, seniors will walk across the stage and shake hands with Dr. Stephen Shirley. But before they can move on to the future, they can never forget the past.
I am going to miss being surrounded by like-minded people every single day. The squad, I'm going to miss the squad a whole lot and having just silly nonsense.
It's been a long day without you, my friend, and I'll tell you all about it when I see you again. We've come a long
I think my favorite memory is just everybody I got to work with and all the friends I've made. No other place I've been able to make the friends that I did here.
When I see you again, when I see you again.
A big university, you know, there's so many people that you don't get to talk to people, but now you can communicate with people here in a small university. So just like the very best.
The road and laugh, but something told me that it wouldn't last. Had to switch up, look at things different, see the bigger picture. Those were the days, hard work forever pays. Now I see you in a better place.
10 years, I've always had dreams and aspirations of the NFL, so hopefully I'm gonna try to go through. I'm gonna try to go through the AFL or to the CFL to then try to see if I can get looked at in the NFL.
Let the light guide your way. Yeah. Hold every memory as you go, and every road you take
will always lead.
In 10 years, I hope to be produce some news program or making my probably gaming video game stuff actually nationwide instead of just this little YouTube channel.
And I'll tell you all about it when I see you again. We've come a long way from where we began. Oh, I'll tell you all about it when I see you again.
There's no doubt in my mind that this class of 2015 is going to go on to do amazing things, and I look forward to hearing about it and seeing them all at our reunions over the years.
Public Relations Professor Audra Myerchin will be leaving Minot State after 9 years of teaching. But before she leaves, she has one last word for MSU students. Pooh is here with more live in the studio.
Most of broadcasting students have a class with Audra, at least one. We will miss her.
Toward the end of spring, students are ready to end their semester at Minot State. And so is MSU Public Relations Professor Audra Myerchin. This spring semester is her last semester at Minot State. She has worked at MSU as peer professor since 2006. She said the 2011 KMSU auction is her favorite memory at MSU.
So as a department, we came together and donated our auction proceeds that year. We do a class that's an auction, and every year they have to find a community project to donate to. Well, we decided to donate to flood families that year, and that became really meaningful to the students and to myself.
Audra leave one last piece of advice to her students. Enjoy your life.
You're in charge of how your life is and what happens from here on out, and you can always seek out people and seek out opportunities and just have fun with it. We only get one life, and you might as well do it right.
Students at Minot State say they are sad to see her go.
I can't even come up with the words to express how grateful I am for her teaching us and how grateful I am for all the knowledge that I've gained. So thank you very much, Audra.
She's definitely helped me with PR, social skills, with promoting myself, promoting the department. I don't know what I would have done without her. She's kept me in line, kept all of us in line, and we're definitely going to miss her.
Torn apart that you're leaving me. I've never had a teacher that cares so much about the students, and the department is not going to be the same without you. So thanks again.
Audra's last spring as a teacher will lead to a life just like the summertime, where she is free to do whatever she pleases.
Okay, Audra's farewell party is on Wednesday at Final Week. More information, contact Neil Lober. I am Pyo Yoon, reporting for KMSU, and back to the studio.
I know I've had a lot of classes with Audra, and she will definitely be missed around the broadcasting department. The Board of Regents convened last Friday to go over a host of topics. One of them giving MSU sports fans a reason to go running to the Dome. Chris Morkin is here with more on the story.
Board of Regents talked about everything from finances to new projects. But what do the Board of Regents actually do?
Their support as a whole, we had a lot of different activities throughout the week.
Every few months, this group meets to go over important topics to better the students and the university as a whole. Jay Dede, a member of the Board of Regents from Alfred City, explains just what the Board of Regents does.
What I see is the main function is to really act as a conduit, basically, between the university and the community. As you've seen here in the presentations today, we get updates on everything that's happening in the university. And we give feedback to the president and his staff as to, how the community sees the university.
While the Board of Regents always talks about different things, the one thing is always common. The school and the students come first. Which is why it's no surprise that a majority of the board is made up of alumni, as well as a group of community supporters.
Mainly alumni, but local people in the area that are supporters of Minot State University.
One of the topics on discussion was the installation of a new scoreboard in the Dome. Athletic Director Rick Hedberg says it's going to be big.
Yeah, we're going to be installing a Daktronics scoreboard, much like we have at Herb Parker Stadium, only much bigger. It's actually 20 feet high, 33 feet wide. It'll according to Daktronics, it'll be the biggest single screen in any venue in North Dakota. So we're excited about that. It's going to go on the north end of the dome.
Represent 1.00.
Whether it's a new scoreboard or scholarships, the Board of Regents has Minot State's back. For MSU Inside Out, I'm Chris Morgan. Board of Regents will meet again next year, and I'd like to send a big congratulations to Megan Wolf for getting engaged last night.
Well, thank you, Chris. I did have a very exciting night last night, but I know we do have a lot more things going on around campus, and I know the ENG class has a lot more packages coming up.
Oh, absolutely. We're not even halfway done yet. We still have plenty to get to, but we are going to take a break right now. We're going to get a word from our underwriters here on KMSU Channel 19 upcoming. I'll be talking to our very own director here in MSU Inside Out, Elizabeth Ham, and also more package stories from our ENG class, and we'll also try and get that interview with Audra in coming up a little bit later right here on MSU Inside Out.
Writers.
Buffalo Wild Wings, wings, beer, sports, located on South Broadway across from Walmart.
All-American Trophies, established in 1983, located on South Broadway for all your trophy and screen printing needs.
Art Main, women's clothing, accessories, and art supplies, located on Main Street.
Digital Office Center, offices located in Minot and Bismarck, provides a complete line of Xerox equipment, supplies, and other services.
MSU Hockey Club, the 2013 ACHA Men's Division I National Champions. Visit us online at msubeaverhockey.com or on Facebook and Twitter.
MSU Athletics Department, NCAA Division II, promoting good character and a positive experience. Red Rising.
MSU Red and Green, Minot State University's official student-run newspaper.
Midwest Oil Jobs brings employers, retailers, and other professionals from the Midwest under one roof to connect like-minded individuals.
Creative Property Management, over 45 years in managing properties and finding tenants the right home.
Be seen, be heard on the Alshire, Black Box, and Amphitheater stages. MSU Theater, where we tell the world's story.
MSU Art Department, stimulating creativity campus-wide by providing exhibits and art events.
Fiance Bridal, located downtown Minot, and now you can shop online.
Pepsi of Minot, the local Pepsi Cola bottling company serving the North Dakota areas of Minot, Dickinson, Devils Lake, Bottineau, and Hettinger.
Rick's Jewelry, where you'll shimmer and shine.
Watney Realtors, full-service real estate agency handling residential, commercial, and investment properties. You can visit them online at minothomes.com.
Spicy Pie, pizza, grinders, beer, located in the Beaver Ridge Plaza.
Happy Joe's Pizza and Ice Cream. Good times to be together.
KCJB 910 AM, Minot's news and information station.
KIZZ FM Z94, Minot's only station for today's hit music.
97 Kicks FM, today's hot new country.
KZTR FM, Minot's rock station, 105.3 The Fox.
KMXA FM, Minot's best music mix, Mix 99.9.
Jacobson Music, family-owned music business with 3 retail locations in Dickinson, Bismarck, and Minot.
Beaver Brew Cafe, a coffee shop run by MSU students in the Beaver Ridge Plaza.
Minot Automotive, offering a superb selection of new 2014-2015 and used Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram, and Toyota models.
Uncle Mattio's, a place where everything is fresh, from pizza dough that's made in store each day to locally grown veggies that are delivered every morning.
KRRZ 1390 AM, Minot's classic hits.
KXMC, local news, weather, and sports.
Bridgeford Construction, licensed and insured for all your concrete needs, residential and commercial.
Ike Heatings, providing immediate sleep and furniture solutions for individuals, families, and commercial properties.
We're back here on MSU Inside Out. Like we were mentioning earlier, Mariah, still plenty to get to here today.
Oh yeah, we're going to talk about the Humane Society. We're going to talk some more interviews. I know you have a good interview coming up to come, so we'll just looking forward to it.
Yep, and right now, like we said, it's our last show of the semester, so the semester's really winding down. MSU Life events, they're mostly over, but there's more to come next year, and Chris Morgan is standing by with the inside scoop of what is to come next year.
MSU Life had a big change this year in the fact of all 3 of the co-directors are new. I'm here with Brady Gudgel to get a better look at next year. Thanks for joining us, Brady.
Well, thank you, Chris.
So what are some of the big changes for MSU Life so far?
Well, obviously the biggest one that we've just kind of touched on briefly is that we went from an all women director team to an all boys director team. And on top of that, we've added a 3rd position, so hopefully that gives us even more ability to create a strong and impactful set of events for this year's campus.
And there's also been a split between SGA and MSU Life. Can you comment on that?
Yeah, we decided to split the MSU Life team from the SGA department, and kind of in hopes of just creating a more streamlined effect for campus event planning, and hopefully we can expand upon that and create some good events for students to go to.
So what are the kind of the next big events coming up for the fall?
We got a really nice opportunity to go to NACA, which is the National Association for Campus Activities, this spring here, and they were all over us trying to get us to book people, but we're bringing back people like Jason Lavasser and Adam Grabowski, and just other really cool things like Paint You, which is a cool paint party and stuff like that. So we're really excited to get students out and about this coming year.
I've also heard there's a big name for us 1990s kids that are coming back. Kel?
Yeah, Kel's coming back, the guy from All That, not from All That, from Good Burger. So, it's going to be great to bring him on campus and see just how 90s we can make it here.
That is great. And final question, what are you personally doing to make MSU Life better?
Personally, I'm not the most outgoing kind of person, but behind the scenes is where I kind of sort of try to thrive and shine. So, I'll be working with Aaron a lot on different, forms of advertising and making sure our social media is on point and stuff like that. So hopefully we'll get the word out and everything will be well planned, and we're going to have great events next year.
All right. You heard it here first, folks. A Paint You party. Kel coming back. It's going to be a great year next year. I'm going to send it right back to you guys in the studio.
All right, thank you, Chris. Well, moving on now, I think we have our deal figured out with the technical difficulties we had earlier. We're actually going to get to see Josh's interview with Audra right now, so go ahead and take it away, Josh.
Today I have a very special treat to have an interview with Audra Meyerchin. Dr. Audra Meyerchin, you have served 9 years in the broadcasting department, put in a lot of dedication. First of all, I just want to thank you for that,
yes.
And thank you for sitting down to speak with me today.
Absolutely.
So let's jump right into it. Let's talk about some growth. So you've been here 9 years.
Yep.
I'm sure there's been change from day 1 to whatever day this is. What have you seen specifically from the department? How has that changed over the time you've been here, and what are some things that you really liked that you've seen?
The department has grown a lot. I have seen a tremendous amount of growth in terms of student development. It was a great program when I came in. Neil Roberts has done a great job with it, but it has grown a lot because I took over different aspects than Neil, and so I sort of started to take the public relations side under my wing, the program, the curriculum, and really changed it. We have an awesome group of students. We are really lucky to cultivate those students those 4 years and to really make them integral parts of what their field is going to be.
That's awesome. So you've seen growth in students and in the department,
Mm-hmm.
but how about for yourself now? Any growth and development that's just been profound for you?
Yeah, absolutely. I think that if you weren't growing as a person, no matter where you were or what you're doing, then you're not doing it right. I'm most certainly a different professor. Not only did I get my PhD, but just changing the way that you teach the curriculum benefits you because of your experience, and it benefits the students as well. Yeah, and I became a mom while I was here too, which, you think about profound growth, and the PhD is about this big, but, becoming a parent, I think that you teach differently as well.
Mm-hmm,
yeah.
Definitely. So with that growth, there's got to be impact along the way. Have you seen any cool impact either with the interpersonal relationships with students or even with projects that might stick with you even beyond your tenure here?
Yeah, I think the biggest part for me has been getting students here that want to be at Minot State and seeing that freshmen come in, and I've had a couple of situations with students that I can think back fondly of where they came to me really unsure that first year. I definitely have had multiple students that I can think of who I've helped guide or just helped to shape them, and then they stayed, and that graduation day is unbelievable for them and for me to realize that I've had that impact where you can get them over that hump of that new college experience. And oh, the projects have been phenomenal. I mean, absolutely.
You've been doing this for 9 years, and we've been taking your advice. 9 years you've been impacting students. If you had any last words of advice for students, what would those be?
You know, I think the best advice that somebody just gave me recently is that life's a journey, and you only get it once, and you have to seize the moments that you do get, the opportunities that you do get, and you have to run with them with all your might and have fun. I have been blessed to do really meaningful things at the university here, and I hope to continue those things in my life in other aspects with my family, or maybe other teaching, or maybe other research, or doing other things, but doing meaningful things and having impact and just have fun. It's a journey.
Well, on behalf of all the students that you've touched over the last 9 years, everyone at Minot State University, I'm sure it's been a pleasure, almost as much for them as it's been for me.
Yeah.
I've really enjoyed you,
Thank
Audra.
you.
I've learned so much, and I think we all really have. And you know, it's a sad send-off, but we'll see you again. It won't be the end.
No, thank you, Josh.
All right, thanks, guys. Back to you.
All right, thank you, Josh. Audra's no doubt been a big part of this department, and we're going to miss her. Mariah, I'm going to send it back over to you and tell us what's coming up next.
Thanks, Josh. And yes, she has. Audra has really been great. I know I heard her just say she's taken students in who have been just lost, didn't know what they wanted to do, and I'd like to think that she guided me and shaped me as well, because she's just been a huge impact on my career here at Minot State. But moving on, the Souris Valley Humane Society is always taking in new projects, taking in new animals, and taking in new volunteers. Standing by with more on the story is Alex Coleman.
The Souris Valley Animal Shelter is home to over 50 animals ranging from dogs all the way to rats. Souris Valley is stressing the fact that they are desperately in need of volunteers who are willing to give some much needed attention to the animals.
The term cute is an understatement while you're looking at these two energetic puppies. Nugget and Matlock are just 2 of 20 dogs located at the Souris Valley Animal Shelter. Minot State students, as well as people in the community, volunteer their time to give the animals some much needed attention.
I like to have volunteers come around and take the dogs out, play with them. It's really neat because you can bring kids too, so families and stuff. It's people that can't have dogs in apartment buildings and stuff. It kind of works perfectly, so they can come out here and still get, you know, that pet experience.
During a recent nationwide study, a vast majority of Americans believe that a better world is possible through the kindness to animals and that we are morally obligated to tend to their dire needs. The Souris Valley Animal Shelter are guided by the principles of caring for the world around us by giving love to the animals until their permanent home arises. Ashley Bush describes her voluntary duties.
So far we've just taken the dogs out for a walk and let them play with each other and play fetch and whatnot. And then we've also picked up the cats, just pet them a little bit, get them socializing, and a lot of fun.
Volunteering plays a vital role in animals finding a permanent home. Volunteering gets the animals prepared to be around human contact. AnimalHumane.org claims that the sad and unfortunate truth is that roughly 64% of the total numbers of animals that entered shelters were euthanized. Dogs like the Chesapeake Bay Retriever Blake are desperately in need of a home.
It really helps the dogs and cats, because most of the animals that we have don't really get played with by us staff, so it helps for the volunteers to come and to make them actually feel loved and that people care about them. So it helps them get used to people and socialize and come out of their shell.
These pets are not our whole life, but they do make our life whole. Reporting from KMSU, I'm Alex Coleman.
If you're interested in volunteering and or adopting, contact the Souris Valley Animal Humane Society. All right, back to you in the studio.
Thanks, Alex, and thank you for that interesting fact. I know I just got a brand new puppy, so it's nice to know about all the dog happenings in the area.
Yeah, and I love puppies, so I was really.
Who doesn't?
I love meeting yours. You have a great dog, Mariah. And now we're going to move on to sports. It's not dog racing or anything like that, Nolan, but we do have some sports going on. A few sports packages actually from that ENG class.
Yeah, quite a bit.
And actually, we had some action last night in the NHL as well.
We did. Like you were talking about, two games last night. Seen the Habs fall to a 3-0 series deficit.
Which is always fun to see.
It's always fun to see. But busy day here in sports, so I guess we could talk about hockey all day, but I'll have to get into this and get back to campus stuff. So the 2015 offseason for Minot State Soccer is off to a good start, especially with one standout that is bound to help take the team to the next level.
As a high schooler, Nympha Ramirez knew she had talent to take it to the next level, and she knew with hard work that would be key. Here's a glimpse of her in the field.
The highlight of our class is Nympha Ramirez, striker from Miramar College. She is the #1 offensive threat coming out of junior college this year in the country.
I can read the field very well. I would say I'm like aggressive, I'm strong, and I don't really let things get to me. I think soccer's just kind of what stayed with me. My dad was always there and made me practice for hours and made sure I got everything right, and it kind of just something that I was just natural at, I guess, and I just stuck with it.
Nympha definitely brings an energy to our team that we haven't had before. She's a good attacking mid, and we're going to benefit huge from having her in that position just because she's such a crafty player. And I think this coming year we have a really good shot at winning nationals with her in that position, just because she's really good at laying off through balls to the forwards.
I chose MSU mostly for like the education wise, because I knew it was my best fit for doing education and stuff, and I kind of got chosen to come here from Jason, so it was just an opportunity to come here and be out of California.
She's a really good teammate. She brings a lot of energy to the field, just all around good attitude and really positive all the time, helping teammates on and off the field. She's a really good teammate. I know she's going to score a lot of goals this season, and as well as come out with a ton of assists, so she's probably going to lead our team in points this next year, so I'm excited.
Minot State Soccer will start their exhibition home game against University of Manitoba on August 22nd. Back to you, Nolan.
Thanks, Val. Being a true teammate means sacrificing yourself for the betterment of the team. Marcel Brinson was able to speak to one MSU football player who optimizes that philosophy. Standing by with more in the studio, and a pretty great package, I must say so myself, is our very own audio man, Marcel Brinson.
When Randall Barber first signed with Minot State, visions of 1,000-yard seasons raced through his mind.
Growing up, I played running back. That was my favorite position, especially watching my brother and my cousin play. That was the same position they played. When I was being recruited, they recruited me as a running back. And I want to say my coach from high school knew the coach here, Paul Rudolph, or whatever, so he kind of like just threw the word. With only my mom in the picture was, was hard. She went through the problems she went through, and just having her in the back of my head, you always want to, play for somebody. And that's definitely somebody I play for.
I think he's done well. I mean, his leadership in his position group has been solid. I think he's gotten better and better that way. He looks like a player that belongs out there. He looks like a guy who should be on the field and playing. I was happy with his progress in the spring.
I think Randall and I came in the same class, and so I've been able to see him grow up the past 3 years. Me with him, and he's definitely been one of the hardest workers I've been around. Not always the loudest guy, but definitely one of the hardest workers that's in our program.
Check out Randall Barber and the Beavers in their first game of the season, Thursday, September 3rd at 6 p.m. at Herb Parker Stadium. Back to you guys in the studio.
Thanks, Marcel. And nothing quite beats a day in the sun with friends on the links. Keith Ailes is standing by live in the studio with more on the story.
Thanks, Nolan. The weather's been gorgeous here in Minot, and what better way than to enjoy it is to get out on the links. Sun is shining, the fairways are mowed here at Service Valley Golf Course, and golf is in full swing.
With daylight hours lasting well past 7, Service Valley has opened its doors for the 2015 season, and local golfers are more than happy to be out on the course.
I think
biggest thing I enjoy about golf is just, enjoying the weather. You get to come out, you may not be the best at it, but I think just enjoying the weather, being outside.
With beautiful weather and temperatures in the 60s, players have been able to play more rounds this spring.
Oh, it's been crazy. I think last year, a few years before that, I do remember snow in June, and I know for a fact that we wouldn't be out on the course with that kind of weather, so I think it's very thankful that we can get out here for that.
Whether it's dialing in on the driving range or teeing off in the back nine, you're sure to have a great time on the course. For MSU Inside Out, I'm Keith Ailes.
For more information on how to book a tee time, join a league, or anything else, you can call Souris Valley Golf Course at 701-857-4189. Back to you guys.
Thanks, Keith. As the MSU team prepares for the NSIC Outdoor Conference meet, Josh Sandy brings us the journey of a Beavers premier pole vaulter.
Pride, skill, and determination are three key ingredients to look for in a quality pole vaulter. In just his first year as a collegiate athlete, Minot State University freshman Caleb Kirby is cooking up trouble in the NSIC.
I think it's been a really great experience. It was a tough transition because I'm from Illinois and North Dakota is a little different than Illinois. But once I got here, made some really good friends in the process. It's just a wonderful experience, and I'm really happy I came here. And my vault's really progressed since I've came too.
The progress has come through training that lasts the entire academic year. The hard work has paid off for Kirby as he looks to capitalize on his year this weekend at conference.
Pole vaulting is definitely a sport that provides a thrill. And it's even more of a thrill when you're good at it. Caleb Kirby is currently sitting 5th in the NSIC right now, and he's looking forward to maybe even a top 3 finish.
Oh yeah, I'm ranked 5th right now, and that'll get me on the podium. I want to do better than 5th. I want to get at least top 3, so I got to fight for my spot.
MSU track and field coach Stu Melby is happy with Caleb's progression and points out that Kirby provides more to the team than just solid vaulting.
He's been a great addition and he's really doing some great things for us, pole vault wise and teammate wise.
I always get my extracurricular abs in, coach.
Caleb's made the most of his experience at MSU, and his teammates have taken notice.
Caleb is a great teammate. He's super supportive, and he actually cares about how well you did in your event that specific day. He also takes the time after his event is done to make sure that you are okay with your event. He'll help you in any way that he can, so it's really great to have him as a teammate.
A strong competitor and a strong teammate, MSU serves as a perfect home for this young athlete. With KMSU, I'm Josh Sandy.
Kirby reached a height of 14 feet 10 inches last weekend in Moorhead, and he looks to soar to new heights in the track season finale. And going from track into baseball, the Twins picked up a big win today. Want to know what I'm a little bit disappointed about, though?
I do want to know what you're disappointed.
Their team rating that they received in MLB 15, the show, it's a great video game, but they got kind of roughed up in that one.
Yeah, I know they didn't have very big expectations coming into the season, but they've been playing great baseball in the past couple weeks.
Over
and
500.
It's so much fun to watch. It was great to see Eddie Rosario hit a home run, his very first at bat, very first pitch
You
ever saw.
don't see that very often, so
No.
yeah, I had to tip my cap to him.
So yeah, good to see the Twins doing well.
Yeah.
Thanks, Nolan.
Yep.
All right, moving in now to my interview with Elizabeth Ham. She is the director of our own show here on MSU Inside Out. You see it pretty calm on set while we're on TV, but it's a little hectic around, especially before we get started at 5 o'clock. And she's the one that keeps us all together. Elizabeth, thanks for joining us.
No problem.
And also what you've been doing, you weren't able to do it this week. We have a little more going on. You had Probably Gaming all year this semester and what we did last semester. You had your Probably Gaming segment during Entertainment News. Just tell me a little bit about what you did with that and what really gave you the idea.
I've always been a fan of video games, and so this was something I could combine my majors as well as my passion for video games, as well as putting a female voice out there, because there's not as many, journalists in the video game industry that are female. It's usually a guy.
I love talking to you about video games. I know I love video games and you love video games like you just said. I'm more of into sports video games like Madden and FIFA and stuff like that, so I've always been urging you to get those on your broadband gaming piece, but of course there's other video games out there. You've done a great job with that, and you did finally got one that I liked with Battlefront on there a couple of weeks ago. But you still plan on doing this throughout the summer and even in the next couple of semesters, right?
Yes, I definitely want to expand the Probably Gaming segment, as well as doing other little segments like documentaries, short documentaries on women in video games as well.
And you no doubt have plenty of experience creating these videos. You've made plenty of videos here in the broadcasting department, and you've done so well here in the broadcasting department that Elizabeth Ham actually won the Most Outstanding Senior Award for the class of 2015 at our banquet a couple weeks ago. So congrats on that. Just tell me a little bit about what you've been able to accomplish and learn throughout your experience in this department.
Well, I've been able to help a lot of students, and they've been able to help me. It's been a back and forth kind of communication with that. I think being able to direct more than one semester has really helped me learn how to communicate with people, as well as stay calm under pressure. I know I look calm here, but I'm freaking out.
And I can attest to the fact that she really does help out everybody in the department. When somebody needs something, they go to Elizabeth. And coming up, I know you wrote a thesis paper, and you're going to actually be presenting that fairly soon. Just tell me a little bit about that.
Actually, I presented it this morning, and I will probably do another presentation at another point. But I talked about feminism and ethics in video game journalism, as well as this thing called #Gamergate, which is a huge ethical issue that has been brought up into the video game world. It's kind of like when you're knocking your head against the wall because some of this stuff doesn't make any sense. Why do people do this? But then when you look into stuff like feminism, then you realize that there's issues that need to be addressed. And that's pretty much what my thesis was about.
All right, well, thanks, Elizabeth. I know you've had a very busy semester. Go ahead and take a break once we get done with everything next week.
Thank you.
Thanks again, Elizabeth Ham, the MSU Inside Out director of our show right here, and the most outstanding senior in the broadcasting department for 2015. Now we're going to move into where we normally see Probably Gaming. We're going to talk to Emily, but Emily, I know you have a few more things for us.
Yes, we've got quite a few more packages. First, with the influx of people in Minot, more and more bars and restaurants are opening, and here is Jay Lurvy with more.
Thanks, Emily. Yeah, there are a lot more bars and restaurants opening up in Minot, and I had a chance to check one out recently. Here's what I found out.
It was Plato who said, he was a wise man who invented beer. Arguably one of the most sought-after beverages after a long day's work, there are many locations in Minot one can enjoy a nice brew.
One of the newest watering holes in Minot is JL Beers, located west of Dakota Square Mall.
It's also a great place to grab a bite to eat.
We have the best burgers in North Dakota by Business Insider. We are named one of the best 51 burger joints in the USA.
JL Beers is not the largest restaurant in town.
It's a small facility, but our motto is we seat 1,047 at a time.
And it's the small size that gives people here that sense of community.
As far as the people, it kind of always feels busy, but we always find people that make room for somebody else at their table and at the bar, and that's like community seating, we call it. So it's a nice gesture that other people, are getting to know other people, and yeah, sit with us, join us, have a beer, have a burger with us. So as far as everyone that comes in here, they're very happy. The people are here to have a beer and try different things. So.
And there are several different things to try, from domestic cans to imported bottles, and several beers on tap. JL Beers does beer right.
We have great service, and we'd love for you to come in.
For MSU Inside Out, I'm Jay Lurvy.
Now, JL Beers is considered a bar, so you do have to be 21 to enter. Emily, back to you.
Thank you, Jay. Local businesses have kind of always been the underdogs, but one Minot store proves that with hard work, you can make it. And here is Quinn with more on what's kind of going on with that and a few updates on what's going on in town with local businesses.
Thanks. So Rock 30 Games is really trying to beat the competition. I went down to see what they're doing differently.
After the recession hit, many game stores went under, but luckily one local Minot store, Rock 30 Games, has managed to stay afloat due to its friendly and helpful customer service representatives.
I have been with Rock 30 for approximately 3 years, since they opened here in Minot. What do I think about the place? I love the place. I started off as a full-time store associate and worked my way up the ladder. I eventually got promoted to assistant manager, and now I'm the store manager. and I enjoy it. I really do. Working around something you love, like video games, is really, really rewarding and beneficial.
Rock 30 Games here in Minot has a wide selection from anything from the Wii all the way to the PlayStation 4.
Assistant Manager Skylar Stensby is always on the lookout for what's trending in the gaming world.
You know, there's a lot of good games coming out too, especially in the next couple of months. We just had Bloodborne release, which has been a big hit. The new Handsome Jack collection released, which, you know, another good game.
This tiny Minot store will continue to provide games from now and into the future. For KMSU Channel 19, this is Quinn Williams.
Rock 30 Games is located on Broadway next to Walmart. Back to you guys in the studio.
Handel's Messiah has been performed throughout the world for centuries. This weekend, Renat Morzafarov's Institute of Dance and Ballet plans to add a new twist to the music this weekend. Megan Wolf is here to tell us more.
Thanks, Emily. With over 60 performers spanning from preschool to college, this ballet is sure to captivate audiences throughout Minot.
To the students at Renat's Dance Studio, ballet is not just a hobby, it's a way of life. The dancers can spend anywhere from 2 to 4 hours a day at the studio rehearsing. Chloe Andreic, a dancer at Renat's Studio, says that her love for dance has grown throughout the many years of performing.
This would be the finishing up my 14th year and my last year, so a long time. And I guess I started when I was young because my parents put me in it, and then I grew to love it, and I can't imagine life without it now. So.
The final performance of the year for the group will be the Messiah Ballet. It tells you the story of Christ in ballet form, all to the music of Handel's Messiah. Cole Anderson, a senior ballet dancer, says that the goal in any performance is to get the audience to feel the emotions of the show.
Movies, theater, dance, singing, it's just everything just puts together to make people feel. And I want to be able to help people feel different emotions that they don't normally get to feel.
The Messiah Ballet performs May 8th and 9th at 7 o'clock p.m. and May 10th at 2 o'clock p.m. in Ann Nicole Nelson Hall. Tickets are $15 and can be purchased at the door. This is Megan Wolf, Channel 19.
For more information, contact Renat's Institute of Dance and Ballet at 837-0239. Emily, back to you.
Thanks, Megan. The local film Heads or Tails has finally reached its final days of shooting. Lead actor Eric Temke shares his journey through the magical weeks of production of the film. Oh, and here's Matthew Maldonado standing by with more. Sorry about that, guys.
All right, thanks, Emily. The film industry continues to grow across the state of North Dakota. Actor Eric Temke plays a big part.
When Matt and I first started making Heads or Tails, it started out as just a small 5-scene short film. It was something we were going to do really quick and get done within 2 weeks. Over time, it evolved. Like everything Matt and I do, it starts out as a small project and turns into this extremely large, amazing phenomenon. While I'm on set, I just have to take a deep breath and look at what is going on around me. It's just super phenomenal. Seeing so many people supportive of something that was once just a thought in my head. My favorite part of Heads or Tails was the relationships that were made. That's my favorite part in anything in life, no matter what I do. Whether it's going to school, being an actor, being an author, just doing something with the community, being a volunteer. It's just always building a relationship. And it was so awesome to meet so many incredible people, both on and off the screen. That was the best part of Heads or Tails. It's sad to see something you've worked so hard on come to an end. The great thing is that it's part 1 of a 5-part series, so everything is to be continued. And And the people that we have to say goodbye to right now is only temporary, and we will see them again, and we will all be reunited.
The film will premiere exclusively this June. Back to you, Emily.
All right, thank you so much, Matt. Well, we are coming down to the final minutes of the final show of the semester and your guys' last show ever. I'm really sad right now.
You know, it's bittersweet. I've been living here for 4 years now, and you're from here. I don't know where you're going after this. I should have asked you beforehand, but Emily, both of you guys are from here. I'm moving all the way back to Washington, so I know that that's a sad.
I'm gonna have to. We'll do road trips.
Yes,
we'll be okay.
That's a good reason to come to Washington for sure.
Okay.
Thank you, Emily.
All right, thanks, guys.
Speaking of Washington, I know it rains a lot out there, and it's kind of as we go into our stereotype segment here. As we're shifting into weather here, we're going to bring Bridget in. Bridget, we've had rain in the last couple days. Speaking of it,
I know, and we're about to see some more of it as well. So
that's unfortunate.
I know, but it's not quite as bad as Washington. So let's get right to it, guys. Right now, it is currently 56 in the Magic City. And it feels like 56 as well. It's partly cloudy, and the humidity is kind of high, around 42%. Looking on into tonight, though, the clouds are rolling in, and they're going to stay. It's going to be a little bit breezy, around 10 to 20 miles per hour. Williston is going to be at 34, Minot 35, so lows are all around the mid-30s. Looking on into Friday, though, it's going to warm up just a little bit. Minot is going to be at 53. Bismarck at 57, partly sunny all across the state. Looking on into Saturday again, you guys, partly sunny, looking few chances of showers though coming the nightfall. Fargo is going to be at 57, so getting up there. Williston at 56. Looking on into Sunday though, we're going to see more chance of those showers. Dickinson, 30% chance, Minot 20. Fargo 50, so mostly showers coming on into the nightfall. However, looking on ahead for Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, it's going to be pretty cloudy on Monday, but for Tuesday and Wednesday, it's going to be in the 60s and a little bit of sunshine, a little bit of clouds, a little bit of good times.
A little bit of good times is what I'm hoping for, because this Saturday we have our graduation party.
Yes.
All are invited in our department, and I am very, very much so looking forward to that little shindig. So if it's not warm, we're going to bring the barbecue inside. That's all I have to say.
It was nice to see it warm up a little bit towards next week too.
Yes.
With graduation and all the parties going on. Hopefully
I know.
Be pretty nice and sunny.
Absolutely.
Thanks, Bridget. So Mariah, we're closing down here on our final show ever. It's been a great few years here in the department.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I've gotten so many opportunities. I've been able to host a couple semesters. I've been entertainment news. I've been able to do camera. Pretty much any seat I think I've sat in. So that's really cool.
Yeah, and just a few other things we did. Just put other things through the department. It's been a lot of fun, and it's going to be missed, but it's going to be nice to move on as well. Song of the week here on MSU Inside Out. Our final one is Red Light by Tiesto here on KMSU 19. Have a great summer, everybody, and we'll see you right back here on KMSU Channel 19 next semester.